Stop, man. Think about what you're doing.
Think about what you think about what you
I'm a whole nigga. Stop.
I don't care.
Stop.
I don't care about you being no whole nigga.
Stop.
I don't care.
Go home. It's okay.
Like I said,
I'll be the fuck okay. I'll be back in the morning. Just leave me the fucking alone.
We're gonna go.
I'm not finna go do shit with you.
You are. Let's go.
No, I'm not.
Let's go.
No, I'm not, man.
So, come on now, my nigga. Stop.
Man, somebody's gonna end up calling the police on you, dude. Man. It ain't even stop bleeding, bro. She's a vessel, dude.
It happened to a trigger when he broke into my door.
How did I break into your door?
I shut the door and I was holding it.
How did I break into the door? Wasn't even locked.
I was holding the door. It didn't have to be locked.
You did this.
No, how did I do it?
My daughter, you did this, nigga. Our daughter, you did this, nigga. You know you do it.
How did I do it?
Stop talking because you just making yourself seem stupid.
I smacked you when you went out the door.
I don't even care.
You grabbed the
I ain't gonna say shit. I'm done talking. I'm done talking.
You're coming right there.
I'm done talking. I'm done talking.
Baby mom was only baby mom to be exact.
So?
Got a 5-year-old daughter together.
So? You put your hands on me because I said I was leaving. You ran up on me. So you didn't run up on me?
Yeah, but I didn't hit you. You hit me first.
You ran up on me with your fist like this.
Because you called me a bitch.
Fuck. All the time. For your past history, nigga. You put your hands on me, nigga. All the time. All the time. All the time. Let me defend myself.
First of all,
to defend myself, I'm tired of you hitting me. I'm tired of you hitting me.
Like I said, you better run off and defend me.
I don't care. So, I'm tired of you putting your hands on me.
Come on, nigga.
You know what to do. Leave me if you tired.
Like I said.
If you tired, leave me. There's
a
whole thing out there, nigga.
The only way you get out there is to bite that, nigga.
It don't even matter, really. I'm from Chicago, bitch. You don't know what. Come on now. I'm not worried about shit. Well, bitch, I'm from Chicago. Fuck what you talking about, nigga, how I help you, nigga? I'm tired of you. Fuck you, bitch. Nigga, I'm tired of fuck you, hoe. Nigga, I wait till this motherfucking train coming and step in front of this bitch, nigga. That's how much I hate you, nigga.
That's about you hate me, my nigga.
Nigga, let me go.
He's mad.
Let me go. Cause I'm tired of you hitting me, dude.
Get your ass back. Get over here. Get over here with your dumb ass. Stop. Stop before the train comes, dumb ass.
I don't care. Fuck you, bitch. I'm a mama. I'm tired of you.
You tired of me because you mad because you trying to go cheat on me.
Nigga, watch on my mama when this train comes, nigga. I'm finna jump in front of it. Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you. Let me go.
If I let him go, he's gonna jump, dumb ass. Stop before the fucking train comes. Yeah.
Let me go.
No. Stop. Go on. So you gonna make a prelude for my nigga?
I don't care. I don't care. Nigga.
I ain't letting you go.
Keep coming, no. Let me go. Let me go. You're going to go to jail. I'm telling you. Car. Let me go. Look what you did to me. I got witnesses. You're going to jail. Let me go. Let me go. You're going to go to jail right now. Police is coming. On the street. Stop! What the fuck? Let me go. Let me go. Let me go. Let me go. I'm not gonna go. Nigga. They gonna tell the police the real story. Nigga. You came up here and did all this shit. I tried to get away from you. You going to jail. I don't care. I don't care. So? Let me go. Let me go. They're the police, man. I'm gonna go to jail. Let me fuck go, man. Let me go. Let me go, man. Let me go. Are you crazy? Let me go. Let me go before they have to kill me, nigga. Let me go. You know I am on the police. Let me go. Let me go. This smoke shit. It's you. It's you. It's you, man. I don't care. I don't care. I don't want a woman like you no more. I don't care. I don't want a woman like you, bitch. Let me go. Let me go. Let me go. Park that phone, nigga. Let me go. Let me go. Let me go. Let me go. I'm tired, man. You bogus.
I'm bogus. You mad because you hit me first.
Let me go.
Why did you go?
Well, tell the police that. Tell the police that. No.
Come on, get this up.
No.
Get this up before somebody takes it.
No, I don't care.
Yeah, you did.
Did you try to break it? I don't care.
I didn't try to break
Fuck
it.
that shit, nigga. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit, nigga. I want my freedom. Fuck you, bitch.
You don't have no freaking man. You're fucking mentally retarded.
I don't care.
Stop.
You making me this way. You drove me fucking crazy, bitch. Let me fucking go. Let me go. Let me go.
Let's my hands to the machine.
Let me go.
You're not doing shit.
Let me go, man.
No.
Let me go. The police coming up the street. Let me
Okay,
fuck
now,
go.
stop.
Let me go.
The more you fight me, the worse it's gonna be.
Let me go.
Let me get my key.
I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't want you no more. I don't want you.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't want
got the
you.
whole floor.
Let me go. Let me go for some bitches. Jump you, dude. Hey, man, move. Go home.
Come on, get your stuff.
Let me go. Man.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to Cafe de Paris. I'm glad you guys decided to dine with me tonight. It is your girl, Lady Mocha. You know, I'm always coming up with some new recipes that's going to definitely fulfill your knowledge appetite. You know, I'm always coming up with some real topics, real issues, things that, you know, any and everybody could relate to. No matter how big and how small it is, everybody has issues. And you know, I'm going to always pour you a cup of truth, and I'm going to always break you off a slice of knowledge. So I thank you for dining in with me tonight. On that note, I want to give a shout out to all of my followers. I'm glad that a lot of you have been sharing my videos through your Facebook accounts, through your Instagram accounts. Believe me, even if you don't think it's that important, share it anyway. You feel me? It's people that's going through some real issues, need some real encouragement. And you know, unfortunately these days there's not too many people you can confide in and say, look, I'm going through this, I'm having an issue with this. You know, a lot of people choose to be confidential with their personal issues, you know, because there's just not too many people you can trust, you feel me? So if you can just encourage or help somebody with share my videos, you know what I'm saying, you could be basically, you know, blessing that person with the solution to a problem or issue or dilemma they're dealing with. So I want to thank all of you, and like I always say, knowledge is for free. No shipping, no handling fees. Knowledge is free. So make sure you put the videos out there, you know, like, subscribe, hit the email, you know, I'm always leaving it at the bottom of the link. We're going to go ahead on and move forward though, because y'all already know the routine, everything you need to know. Any ways you need to contact me is going to already be, I'm going to already have that information included in the link to the bottom. Keep in mind, I'm still working on and learning how to edit videos. This particular video that I'm going to do a response to, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get it in the beginning of the clip. If it doesn't show up in the beginning of the clip, I'm just going to leave it in the link to the bottom, so you can check out the video, and that way you can have an idea as to what I'm talking about. So if you want to pause my video now and take a look at it, if it's not already in the front of the clip, you're welcome to do that, or you can just continue to stay with me and then go back and reflect on the video, whatever you may choose. But I had to do I had to definitely do a response to this video clip. First off, I got this clip from a gentleman by the name of 𝐜𝐡𝐚'𝐬 Show. Okay, I don't know him personally. I've never did any shows with him, but I'm actually one of his subscribers, and he's a very intelligent guy. He's one of the black male commentators that I can say is pretty respectful. He tells it like it is, and he does it in a respectful manner without demeaning and degrading anyone. So I want to give a shout out to 𝐜𝐡𝐚'𝐬 Show, because whenever I get material from somebody else, I don't want to take no credit for it. I got the clip from him, okay? So he also has his own perspective as well as to what I'm getting ready to go into with this particular topic. The problem is, I agree, the reason why it was necessary for me to do this topic is because there are too many women that are forcing relationships that have been dead long time ago. And I've done a video on this before about giving life to dead relationships. I've already did a video on it, but this time I wanted to take a different spin, because it's the reason, the direction I'm going with it this time is that there are some women that are pulling some desperate stunts and taking some desperate measures in order to try to enforce these men to be with them. Now, I don't see too many men who do it, and those who I know have forced a woman to be with them that against her will were more like abusive type of men, or narcissist type of men, you know, mental illnesses. You know, you don't have too many guys that really try to force, you know, like force a woman to be with them unless it's a special case scenario, like I said. Most men, you know, y'all have the gift of when y'all are done with something, y'all are done. You know, y'all don't really try to drag it out. You have some simple-minded men who will stay in relationships that are not healthy with them, knowing they're not fit to be with that woman, but they stay with the woman anyway, rather if it's out of financial obligation, because they're afraid if they leave that woman, they're going to be obligated having to pay child support. Or you have some men that are not really doing that well financially, so they stay with that woman because she's the one that's the primary breadwinner. She's the one bringing in the majority of the income. So instead of him being man enough and leaving a relationship that he knows he really no longer wants, he'll stay with the woman just to avoid having to be a real man and go out there and work and you know, provide for himself and produce his own financial means. So he'd rather stay with a woman he knows he's no longer in love with, or no longer has that mental or emotional connection with. He'll stay with her just to avoid having to go out there and fend for himself. So you got to feel simps out there, you know, that or not man enough to walk away and leave that woman, knowing he's not into her, knowing he fell out of love with her for those type of reasons. But again, it's not a lot of men who do that. You know, you got a few. But this particular, the direction I'm going is basically pertaining to women. In the video clip, you're going to see basically this female that is very hostile towards this guy, and you can tell basically this guy's her man, her dude, or was her dude or whatever, and she's basically lashing out on him, going off on him, because you can just tell based on his actions. That's why I tell a lot of women, never go by what a man says, go by how he treats you. If most women would stop lying to themselves and stop looking at what a man is saying and looking at versus what he does, they'll save themselves from a lot of drama and a lot of heartache and a lot of disappointment. This guy is clearly showing by his disrespect, the way he's hollering at her, cussing at her, calling her all kind of B's, saying leave me alone, I don't want to be with you, just saying a lot of derogatory things. You can basically tell this man does not want to be in this relationship no more than a crackhead wants to be in church on a Sunday. Okay, evidently he's not feeling it. All right, I heard her mention to him as she was arguing to him about everything she has done for him. A lot of women get played with this. Women, I don't know what it is about us ladies where we feel like because we've done so much for a man, he's obligated to be with us. Okay, that was your choice. That was your decision when you decided to keep putting money on his books when he was in prison, keep helping him pay his child support, let him live off of you, not paying no rent, knowing he messing with other women, all this other stuff. You made that choice. That didn't make him obligated to you just because you kept putting yourself out there. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of women who get played. They play themselves every time. They've already decided in their mind because they either given this man so much, or they have a child from this man, or they put in a lot of years. They have automatically convinced themselves that these men are obligated to being with them. And that is not the case, ladies. That is not the case. Stop making yourself believe because you gave so much, he owe you so much. Let me tell y'all something. Love is a gamble, okay? When you're in a relationship, you're basically rolling dice because there's no guarantees that this person is going to be there no matter how much you don't put yourself out there for them. You feel me? So just keep in mind that when you sign a dotted line, whether if you sign that dotted line on your heart, that you're going to be with this person, you're going to make them love you no matter what, just keep in mind you're taking a gamble. You can roll and roll and roll a dice and still strike out. That is the chance that you take. But what disturbed me too about this video is that she had the audacity to get aggressive with him, pulling on him, grabbing on him, yelling at him in public, in a public eye, not having no respect for herself, putting on this performance, this ghetto performance, all because she's upset that she put herself out there for this dude, and no matter how much she has done for him, and I'm sure evidently she did a lot, and I feel her, you know what I'm saying, even though she handling it in a ghetto ratchet manner, it is heartbreaking when you have put yourself out there for a person, when you have signed your name on a dotted line, you put all your cards on the table, you didn't protect yourself in the midst of being so deeply in love with another person that you just left yourself wide open. You didn't protect yourself for anything. And now she's feeling cheated. Now she's feeling like he done ran game and he done got over on her. Now I done put myself out there. Now that I have invested so much and given so much, you're going to insult me by telling me you don't want me. You don't want the relationship. You're telling me to leave. You're telling me to go. And believe me, I feel her frustration. But what women have to understand, you cannot force someone to love you. You cannot force someone to be with you. I don't care how good you are in bed. I don't care how much money you invested. I don't care if you got more kids from him than they have in an African village. It does not matter. When a person shows you, in the words of Maya Angelou, when a person shows you who they are, believe them. And that is the God's honest truth. Y'all, it's too many of y'all that are believing what a person says versus what they do. Both have to match and go hand in hand, okay? You know, just like you got to match your coach, your stilettos, your red bottom shoes with your Prada bags or whatever, just like you got to match your accessories, you know, that's the same way it goes with a person's you know, actions. Their actions got to match with their words, you know what I'm saying? Stop going by what people tell you. It's not evident when a person is really over you or a person is really not feeling you. Point in case, I'm gonna give some of y'all out there some examples as to when you know a man is just not feeling you anymore. And guys, you know, even though this video is predominantly for the women, I want y'all to view this video too. Chime in, let me know if, you know what I'm saying, if I left something out, or, you know, something else that I needed to mention or whatever the case is, because I have to school these sisters out here. I have to, because there's too many of y'all making an ass out y'allself, you know, with these men who have shown you over and over and over they do not want you, and you keep trying to force them and convince yourself that y'all are supposed to be together. And it's just as horrific as trying to pull out a tooth with no Novocaine. Y'all are not getting it. Y'all are not understanding. Point in case, I'm just going to throw a few of them out there. When a man stops sleeping with you, that's number one. When a man stops taking you to bed, you already know, you know what I'm saying, he's not really feeling you in a relationship like that. Because the majority of men, even if they're not feeling a woman, you know what I'm saying, because we know men are sexual by nature, okay? They don't even have to really be into you to be into you. You feel me? So, with that being said, if a man is not going to bed with you, that's a number one sign. Either he's screwing someone else, or he just has lost all attraction for you, okay? He's not feeling you, which means that the majority of most men know that if they sleep with a woman, they're taking a chance with that woman being emotionally connected to them, unless him and that one female got a mutual understanding that this is something we're just doing, there's no strings attached or whatever. But if he knows you're already emotionally into him, the last thing he's going to do is keep sleeping with you, because he knows that if he keeps sleeping with you, you're going to think that him sleeping with you means he's into you. And then you have some of them, they'll sleep with you and not even be into you at all. You know what I'm saying? They'll just get up and do it like it's washing the dishes, with really no thought, with really no real love, nothing else, no deep meaning. So, you know, it's one or the other, you know what I'm saying? But if he's not sleeping with you, that's definitely a sign that he's not into you. Two, when he stopped doing things that most men do for their wives or their companions, he doesn't care to go out to dinner with you. He doesn't care to spend money on you. He doesn't care to go out to lunch with you. He doesn't really care to go in public places. He doesn't really, in other words, he's not into doing things with you that couples usually do. He's always having excuses. He has to work. You know, he's tired. You know, you see him say all of this, but yet every time you turn around, when you go to sleep at 9, 10 o'clock, he's, you know, throwing on his Jordans and he dipping on you. He gone somewhere, you know what I'm saying? In other words, you see he's always having time for other things, but when it comes down to you wanting to spend time with him, he has more excuses than a nigga in jail, you know what I'm saying? So basically, when he stopped doing things for you, you already know, you know what I'm saying, he's no longer interested in taking you to the movies, just going out for a drink or two, things that couples do. He's no longer doing that. You already know he's no longer really feeling you. The third thing is, if he starts seeing another woman, hell, this should have been number one. I don't know what I was thinking about making this number 3. This should have been number one. When he starts seeing another woman on you, you already know all bets are off. He's not feeling you like that. Now, keep in mind, okay, I've always stressed to all of y'all, I am against cheating. I am against folks messing around on somebody that they're supposed to be in a relationship with. But we already know this is not the perfect world. And unfortunately, because men are not emotional creatures, I hate to say it, but the way they are emotionally wired, they can be in a relationship with somebody and sleep with another woman and call them, claim they still in love with the main woman. I don't know how they do that, but I'm not a man, so I can't really say how they feel on that. But I'm just going by what I heard. They can really be in love with this woman, but for whatever reason having problems, or they're not on the same accord and deal with this other chick, but he knows that he's not going to give this other woman any indication that he's going to be with her, that he has a future with her. It's none of that. You know what I'm saying? It's basically physical sex, which it shouldn't be. In a perfect world, it shouldn't be. If you're in a committed relationship, you are not supposed to get involved with anybody. But I'm not a man, and they're not wired like we are, okay? So my thing is this. If even though he's already wrong for stepping on the outside of being in a committed relationship with you, but he's even more wrong when he starts gaining feelings for this other woman. Meaning that this wasn't somebody that was a quick drive-through type of thing. You know what I'm saying? He has actually claimed this woman. He has taken her out in public. He has introduced her to family, to friends. He has gotten intimate. One thing, like I tell you all the time, the difference between having sex and being intimate. Intimacy means there's a closeness, there's a connection other than just sex. If you're in a situation where your significant other is messing around, even though they don't need to be, but let's just keep it real, let's keep it 100. This is very common. It happens all the damn time. You know, as much as women, we hate it, we can't stand it, we don't like to be cheated on, we don't like to be disrespected. This happens regularly. You know what I'm saying? I can't sugarcoat it for you. I'm not a bakery. It is what it is. This doesn't mean you have to stay and tolerate it. You know, this doesn't mean you less of a woman if you stay, you less of a woman if you go. You know what you can deal with. You know what I'm saying? So, and there's so many ways of being cheated on other than just sex. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people just go on sex. No, it's a lot of ways to be cheated on. Even if he's confiding in another woman, just telling her that he's not getting along with you is just as bad as him taking her to bed. It's all the same. Cheating is cheating. But when feelings are involved, that's even worse. Because if he has gotten deep with this woman and told this woman he loves her, he wants to be with her, and he's in the process of telling her that he's being mean to you, he's not really connecting with you, he's you know, there's no real like bond, the bond has diminished between the both of you. He doesn't really talk to you like he used to. He's not really in the mood like he used to. It's all because unfortunately he's not into you, because his feelings have pretty much deterred into the other woman. So the more he's into her, the less he's going to be into you. And I hate to say, but you have a lot of women who go through this, and you know, and sometimes you have to give a person what they want to save yourself from the heartache. If a man is showing you he does not want to be with you, he wants to be with this other person, you will make yourself miserable. It's like, remember in school playing tug of war, like you had a group of kids on one side pulling the rope, and then another group on the opposite side pulling the rope, and they both pulling tug of war. And basically you have a lot of women who are in miserable relationships. They know the man has stopped connecting with them mentally, spiritually, because really that's more important than sexually. Sexually is important, but once a man starts disconnecting with you mentally and physically, you pretty much down for the count. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like, you know, you on your last leg. You know what I mean? You pretty much fighting for something that's not really there. You know what I'm saying? And you have some women that are so desperate. They're so afraid that if they let go, this man is going to give the next woman everything they felt like they were entitled to have. And as a woman, I understand your frustration. When you have been with this man for years, you didn't invest the time, you didn't invest the money, you didn't invest most of all your feelings, your body, your children. You invested a lot. It's hard to give up something that you have put so much into to get in the first place. But what's even more difficult is when you're fighting to keep something that is not fighting to keep you, that doesn't see no value in you. You know, do you understand how difficult that is? When you see all this person, when you see all this person's potentials, you see all of their value, and they don't see none of that in you no more. That has to be very disheartening. And again, you have a lot of women that are holding on to relationships that's been dead, been expired long time ago, like an old batch of collard greens that's been sitting out for 3 weeks. It been expired, it been spoiled, it been rotted, but they are so afraid that this other woman is going to get something out of him that she's been fighting to get. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news. It may be true. It very well may be. She may be able to get something out of him that you can't, you know. And I see a lot of women who set themselves up for this. They see, it's sad, but they see how well their mate is treating the outside woman. And they feel like because they're the wife or they're the down chick, they feel like they stand a chance of getting that same amount of treatment. What a lot of women are not understanding is that women who are being treated different is not because he's treating them better than you just because. A lot of it has to do with the other woman is making sure he stands up to her expectations. In other words, what I'm saying is, because you've been with him so long, you probably haven't motivated him as much to really be all of what you wanted him to be, because you were so busy putting in time, you were so busy fighting to keep the relationship going. You lost making him be the man that you need him to be. And because of that, you were so wrapped up into keeping it together, you lost making him better, be the man that you want him to be. But this other woman, on the other hand, has been able to make him be all of the woman, all of the man that she wants him to be. So he knows with her, he cannot half step. So that's why with this woman, he may dress better, he may put in more money. Everything you couldn't get him to do, she's been able to get him to do, because she hasn't settled. You, on the other hand, you settled. So while you thinking he's going all out his way for her and he never went all out his way for you, you thinking she getting the best of both worlds. That's because she's demanded more than you demanded. You didn't demand anything, and because you were so busy trying to hold on and fight and keep him, you didn't make him extend himself more. You didn't fight to make him more of a better man. You was too busy fighting to make him remain your man, to make him stay your man. This chick probably told him, hey, if you're going to deal with me and be with me, you're going to have to step your game up. And he knows with her, he can't stay on a certain standard. With you, you've allowed him to be on the bottom barrel because you was too busy trying to fight to keep him than to make him a better man. So you have a lot of women that's around here hating on the other woman, angry with the other woman, and I can never understand why women hate the other women. That's your man. He decided to step out there or do whatever, okay? Regardless of what. You hating this woman thinking, I'm the one who put all this time into him. I'm the one who put all these years into him. How dare he only been with her a couple of weeks and he's putting in everything that I couldn't get him to put in in 7, 8 years of us being together. He did it for her in just a year or two, you know, because your expectations were too low. And believe it or not, you know, sometimes men get bored with that. You don't try to make them be more than what they are. There's no growth. And this person is broadening his horizons, introducing him to bigger and better things. And she's basically brought something out of him that you couldn't bring out of him because you remain stagnant. You remain stationary in the situation. You know, this is what a lot of women are not understanding. And you're upset and you're furious with the other woman when it's not her. You just couldn't bring out the best in him. That's just the way it is. In relationships, some people can either bring out the best in you or bring out the worst in you. You know what I'm saying? And you got some women, they're smart enough to be patient and wait for that man to get his act together. And you got some women that'll write a man off the moment he don't get his stuff together. Oh, he ain't got no business yet. I've been with him for 2-3 years. He still ain't started his own business. He been promising for years he was gonna start his own business. Okay, he gets with another woman and starts his business. Now you feeling cheated, like why when I was with him he didn't start his business? No, you wasn't patient enough. Maybe she was. She was more patient enough to wait on him and trust in him, and instead you demeaned him, you put him down, you insulted him, made him feel like he was having all these dreams and not fulfilling them. It's so much more to it than what women could even understand. But I'm definitely gonna have to cut this video short tonight. I'm gonna do a part 2 on this. It's just way too many women forcing men to be with them because they fear that that man is going to get with someone else and do better. And meanwhile, they're fighting to hold on to them, but they're miserable. Because they know in their heart the relationship is dead. They know that's the same man that's no longer in love with them. And how a lot of women get hurt, we try to bring that same man back to life that we first met. You know, and you have to realize as time changes, people change. Sometimes what you met in 90, just because that was the man you met in 2001, this 2016, a lot has changed over the years. You know, people change. You know, their mentality changes. You know, what you used to could do back then to please him, this man is older now. He's on a whole nother level. You back then you was able to get away with giving him kibbles and bits, and he was satisfied with that. But the older people get, their needs change, their demands changes. And if you're not smart enough or not wise enough to keep up with the changes and know the changes without always having to guess and figure it out, you're going to be lost in the wilderness. But I just wanted to start off and give y'all a brief synopsis on this topic for tonight about women that are fighting to keep relationships and hold on to men who have shown them they don't want the relationship anymore. They're tired of it. They fed up. It done become stale. And it ain't just sexually. You can even be great in bed, but they can be your personality is stale. Your way of seeing things is stale. You still stagnant. You still got that same mentality 6-7 years ago. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us ain't keeping up with the times. But look here, I'm gonna go ahead and leave my link. And I'm going to leave the link of the video if I can. But you know what? I got to cut it short. I got a couple things I got to do. It's your girl, Lady Mocha, and I thank you for tuning in to Cafe de Paris. Remember, like, share, subscribe, share the video on your Facebook, share it on your YouTube. It's your girl, Lady Mocha. Y'all have a blessed one. I'm out.